So remember a few weeks ago, the federal Liberals put out their big budget, big spending, big debt, big deficit budget that probably really isn't going to do much for any of you at home. Well, one of the niggling points in there was a change in the capital gains. Now, it may affect you, it may not, but it's certainly going to potentially affect doctors across this country, and they are not happy about it. Hello, I'm Adrienne Batra. With me are Lorrie Goldstein and Brian Lilley. So they knew, Brian, that the medical professionals who this change in the capital gains tax was going to affect directly and adversely are not happy about this. The Liberals, just like any other political party knows, going up against and having a fight with doctors never ends well. And as we go into a summer of discontent anyway, this is not what the Liberals wanted to fight. So what did they do?
They announced that they're doing this capital gains tax change. They tried to say it was only going to affect 0.13% of the population, and then they got huge blowback. Doctors just part of it. Small business owners, people who own cottages, people that have bought a second property to get some income for their retirement. All these people are saying, hey, wait a minute, this is going to hurt me. But you're right. Doctors are a powerful lobby group. Anyone in politics will tell you that. So they tabled the budget on April 16th. On May 1st, they introduced what's called the Budget Implementation Act. This is the official legislation to enact all the measures in the budget. And guess what's not in the legislation? The capital gains tax changes. So all week since Parliament's been back, Justin Trudeau, Chrystia Freeland, they've been asked, hey, where is that? Are you walking away from it? Oh, no. It's all fine. Well, are you changing it? Is that why it's not in there? Are you? No. We're not changing it. It's fantastic. Well, what's happening is that the doctors have put so much pressure on them that they have had to hit pause and try and reconstruct something that won't annoy the doctors, but that will also bring in the $20 billion they've already spent that they think this will draw in over the next 5 years.
You know, Lorrie, Canada's failed finance minister, Chrystia Freeland, is far more interested in commenting on whether or not Pierre Poilievre's wearing more makeup than her than clearly focusing on economic policy and what's actually going on in this economy and what's affecting everyday Canadians in their pocketbook. This just seems to me, you know, a bit, I mean, amateur hour, I think, is being kind. This is just yet another thing that they threw out there. Maybe try to pigeonhole the Conservatives to try to vote for this. To who knows what they want to say down the road. It just seems like a mess for the Liberals again.
Well, to me, it's like saying to the public, don't tax him, don't tax me, tax that guy behind the tree, and they're all rich
Right.
people. That should be a winner, right? So you start out with, well, it's going to be for people, who, make millions of dollars a year and big corporations and all that, yada, yada, yada. Most people don't consider their family doctor to be part of that group. If you do surveys, Canadian doctors are very trusted by their patients, and we don't have enough of them. We know that, and that's causing problems in our system. And of course, doctors are, under our health system, they are not socialized. They are not the employees of the government. They are independent, small business contractors, a lot of them. And so a lot of the issues with capital gains goes to their retirement packages, that they're a corporation, that they're not going to get a pension, so that the value of their, helps them. And by doing this, it's making life harder for them. And the other thing is that a lot of doctors may just go, oh, I've had enough. I'm going to the States, or I'm retiring. Enough is enough. And that runs into the concern about the number of doctors. Now, I think there's some polling that's just been out. I think it was done for one of the medical associations, but it was by a credible pollster. And it said, look, people are split on the value of that, of the capital gains thing, right? But they're worried if it impacts the number of doctors we have in Canada. We have many doctors who are facing retirement age. It's the baby boomer doctors who are all at that age. And so to me, this is a problem when a government is no longer governing with sensible policies or rational policies. every policy it's implementing is done through the prism of, will this bring us 12 more votes? And of course, governments do things that they appeal to their base. And that's the normal part of politics. But now it's like this government is so focused on, we need more votes, that they're not thinking things through clearly. And so we're getting a lot of decisions that make no sense, like this one, like a cabinet minister arguing that we need more immigrants because of the housing shortage. We need more immigrants to build more houses. Okay, what about the immigrants that come to build the houses? How are you going to house them? Or in immigration, well, the way we can solve this temporary foreign worker thing is to make more of them Canadian citizens. No, that's not the issue. And oh yeah, we need lots of immigrants. We're going to bring them in. Okay, if you bring in more immigrants, there's more economic activity to for the goods and services those immigrants need. That raises greenhouse gases. Because they're no longer thinking rationally, and I think people are picking it up. That's the other thing. You see this stuff now on social media. People pick it up right away. They understand the hypocrisy right away, even on fairly complex issues, which is unusual. And I think it just all comes back to the Liberals are in panic mode, and it's not good for the country. I wish they'd calm down.
Brian, last word to you. You've been writing about this extensively. You've been talking to business owners. You've been talking to people in the industry. You've been talking to average Canadians who are saying, I'm not a rich guy or gal. This is going to affect me directly. And I think Liberals often try that narrative, right? Tax the rich. We're asking, their famous line is always, we're just asking those who make more to pay their fair share. It's that type of narrative. But frankly, that threshold is pretty low these days in this country as to what the so-called rich are in Canada. And I'm wondering, is this just going to fall apart? Is this not going to go anywhere? Are they going to try to resurrect it and then the next budget before an election? Last word to you.
Look, they brought this in thinking, as Lorrie said, taxing the rich is a winner. And they needed something to change the channel from the carbon tax, which is almost universally loathed now. Even among their own supporters, they don't like it. So they thought this would be it, but now they're getting this pushback. And people saying, okay, well, if it doesn't affect me, but affects my doctor, then I'm worried. Or, hey, my family has owned this cottage for a long time. This is going to affect us. We won't be able to pass it down. All these things are adding up and they're feeling the pressure. But every time Trudeau's been asked, including this week, he seems determined to move forward with it, that this is the right move, that this is fairness for every generation. And you're right, he portrays it as fairness for every generation. He portrays it as paying your fair share. But we're talking about telling someone you have saved for your retirement because you don't have a government pension, and we're going to take an extra 9% off of that, because that's apparently what it amounts to, an extra 9%. So, take your pension and take 9% off of it. If he went to all the federal government workers who get a pension that is comprised of the best 5 earning years of their working career and then is indexed for life, and they said, we're going to figure out what all that amounts to and then take 9% off of you, he'd have a riot on his hands. Well, that's what he's trying to do here. It's not fairness. It's not good economic policy. It's being criticized by people like the guys that started Shopify, who used to be on Trudeau's side and are definitely not anymore. This is bad economic policy that is also bad political policy, it seems.
Well, let us know what you think in the comments below. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and go to the TorontoSun.com. You're going to find commentary and coverage there you'll not find anywhere else.